Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Sunsvold with GoldBear Media, and we're going to dive into our second conversation here with Billy Sammons. Billy is with Live Local Marketing, and he is a warm marketing coach. And so I'm very excited about our conversation today. I've been following him. Well, we met like about a month ago,
About him.
and we've been following each other and supporting each other on LinkedIn. He's got some really great content that even as a marketing expert, I'm gaining value from his marketing tips. So I'm really excited about having the conversation today with Billy about all of this great warm marketing tools that even if you know them, they're really great reminders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Billy, go
Yeah, we're
ahead.
pretty good. We're really awesome and like we're almost like kind of opposites, right? Like you're very techie and you do these websites and I'm like warmy and different. So like we have been complimenting each other really nicely. So I've been learning a lot from you too. So I appreciate that, Kelly.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess a little bit about me. I back in the day used to be a high school teacher and worked at the local college teaching there too, and eventually got into real estate. The real estate, I didn't want to be a cold lead person because I felt it was very painful and I didn't want to door knock or cold call. And so I learned various warm marketing strategies instead, and it made like a really positive impact in the community. I had a lot more fun and I saw my business growing as I started giving back to the community and doing specific strategies to try to help as much as possible and meet a lot of people and grow your sphere.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So what are some of the classes that you're teaching in your sessions? Like I know
Oh.
like you post like little clips every day. So talk a little bit about what that looks like for you.
Yeah, so the three strategies we always teach, I always teach is video commercials, event planning, and podcasting, kind of like we're doing here today. And those three strategies, what we do is I go into a local business and I offer to help them with some services. Local business owners are so passionate. You know this too. They're such passionate people, but they don't always have time to like do like straight marketing and do those types of things. So as I go in there and just offer them up and like, hey, can we do a commercial? I'll put it all over my social media. I'll do whatever I can to help out.
Yeah.
That helps me create content that's authentic. It's good for the community, and I can actually spread it out, and people pay attention to it because it's not just me doing the real estate stuff all the time. Like, how many times can you talk about FHA loans before people just like tune you out, right? And
Right.
so this creates
Right.
better content. You're the expert in your local area, and it's a lot more fun. Um, and then yeah, I see you're also like you're all over the place. Like you're in the newspapers here, you're doing this here, you're doing that there. So I'm sure like you can kind of relate with that kind of style, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we're always learning from one another and it's interesting sometimes marketers get kind of there can be like a little bit of a territory.
Yeah.
And I've met more and more marketers who are just very open and collaborative. And I think that that's where we're getting a lot of like really like it's helping our businesses, it's helping our marketing because we're learning from one another. We're not going, well, you're a marketer and I don't want to talk to you because you do something you several other people that I've met in the marketing world, they do very different things. I was on a
Yeah.
call last night. Billy and I actually both met through a networking group called
Yep.
NRG. And we actually both we live what like an hour from each other or
Yeah, it was
something.
actually pretty wild. You're in Easton, right? And I'm in Huntingtown.
Yeah, I'm actually in Westminster, so
Yeah, yeah,
close. Yeah, other
yeah.
side.
Close.
But yes, yes. So it's not too far.
No.
But yeah, like it just makes the world a little smaller. But back to marketing on that front. But yesterday I met someone who was a video producer, and
Oh yeah.
I met someone else who does marketing, but they focus in on AI tools. And so like there's a lot of opportunity to learn from one another in the marketing world, which is really awesome. So if you're open like you, proverbial you, are open to learning from others, there's opportunities to engage. And that's things that, like what I was saying at the beginning, like I've really, um, kind of gleaned from your warm marketing strategies. Like one of them was, you're talking about like it's in the follow-up, something about like
Yeah.
it's in the follow-up. And a lot of times we get caught in our busy world and we're like, oh, this person isn't ready to pull the trigger on social media marketing. Okay, move on to the next person kind of thing. And the reality is and this is something that like I have in our business, and I know you're very personable as
Yeah.
well, is like it's about the relationship. If you can build that trust with another business owner and you build that relationship, then when you come in as a collaborator, whether you're making a video for a small business or you're running, social media, building a website, whatever, it's that personal collaboration
Touch. Yep.
that is key. And you know, people don't people like genuinely, I think that we're cheerleaders. Like I look at you as like a cheerleader for small businesses, you know.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And
Yep.
it's like we feel so passionate. I think that was one of the things that like drew me to you at the beginning was that you're just so passionate about small businesses in our area,
Yes.
and really partnering with them. Before the call here, we were talking, and you mentioned like, I'm just tired of going to the big box stores. You
That's
know,
right.
I want to
Yep.
support the small people,
I
and
want the small
that's
people to win. Yep.
true. That's so true. If I could just find a small business that carries like Gain and laundry detergent and my
That's what I
brand
was.
of oatmeal.
Well, yeah, hey, we can bring back the general store. I'm just saying,
Yes.
you can bring back the
Yes.
general store. All right, hey, we'll do two quick follow-up hacks. You ready? I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a couple of them. One, and
Yes.
this is what a lot of people, no, I didn't invent the style of going into businesses and helping them. I didn't invent it, obviously. I just have got a really strong system for it. One of the things is you take the local business owner and put them in your CRM like a client. Not many people do that. They're like, I met so and so. Cool, I met him. Here's the video. Done and done. You put them in the CRM, you follow up with them quarterly, like you do everybody else. Like, hey, how's the business going? And you put that video back out again, or you put the content back out again all the times because you want to stay in front of their mind as much as you want to stay in front of your audience's mind. And then the second one, when you're following up with your own people, it's great to just grab like the video you just made. I just made one with an interior designer. She's awesome. So I'll have a few clients who've been posting stuff about like, hey, I don't, what about this color for my room, things like that. I'll grab that video and it's a wonderful follow-up to say, hey, here's the video on the interior lady. And you do like a quick introduction, right? So you're using that content as the follow-up, not another, hey, how are the kids doing? Because that gets old fast too, right? Because
Right.
they don't, how many times can you call on a client and say, or a friend or whatever, hey, how the kids doing? Blah, blah, blah. That's just boring. Instead, like, hey, here's the food truck. I think you'd really like them. Here you go. You're not asking for
Mhm.
anything. You're not being annoying. You're not doing anything. You're just giving them a little bit of content and they remember way better than if you were doing another, hey, how's the family type thing. So there you go.
That's
Two little fun hacks.
so no, that's a really good hack. Basically, like you're giving the small business owner some value.
Yep.
And they're able to take it right away, apply it, and anything like that. Wow, that
Yep.
was really good. And those are quick tips that I see that you're posting on
All the
LinkedIn, for
time.
example,
Yeah, it's
all the
fun.
time. Just
Yep.
like, yeah,
Fun.
it's good reminders. What about if people aren't into video? What are hacks for
Other
warm
things.
lead follow up?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've done a lot of different things too. So we'll talk about two. One is a podcast like we're doing here today. You don't have to make it visual like this. You can make it a regular podcast. And you and I,
Mhm.
before we even hit play, talked about the idea that like it's a great way to get in front of people, right? So if I met and earlier this year, I met a videographer, a guy that does videos in our area. And if I'd have said like, "Hey man, let's go grab coffee sometime," maybe he would have followed up. Maybe he wouldn't have, one of those generic phrases. But I'm like, "Hey, I have a podcast. Why don't you come on it? Let's meet next Friday." That was a way to get in front of him. I don't
Yeah.
expect my podcast to be Joe Rogan. I expect
Hmm.
my podcast to create more and better relationships. That's really what it's for.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then the
that's
second thing
so
I would
good.
do is once I start getting to know the businesses, we provide a guide, a audit basically. You sit down with a local business and it's a bunch of questions you ask about them, so you know more about them. And one of the things we focus on is like their pain points. So, for example, if I'm in like the coffee shop and they're like, I am just tired of buying those little wraps that the coffee cups go into, like they're eating up my budget. Those things are like 50 cents each. You're like, you know what? I know a local lender who's looking to market and do some things. What if I, tie you guys up again? He can throw his logo on there. You had to stop paying for it, and he's getting a lot of publicity. So you start making connections. Like you haven't done anything. All you're doing is playing Cupid and putting these businesses that one needs something and the other one needs something, and you just happen to be the in between, the connector. And that's a wonderful way to be remembered as well. Just trying to get everybody together to collaborate.
Yeah, you're like a business matchmaker.
Yeah, yep, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. We all need those people in our life for sure, for
Yep,
sure.
yeah, it's fun.
I love that idea about like helping to get other businesses uh working together.
Yep.
I think that's especially important. Um, I have to ask, what was your latest video that you've done?
Yeah,
What
the
was
last one.
the small business? Let's give them a plug.
Yeah, it was her name is Kim Musser and she's Ellie Hudson. She does an interior design and she it's really awesome because we just sat down and she does all these big projects in the DMV outside the area. It's DC, Maryland, Virginia, we call it the DMV. So that area, she's got all these stories about like historic houses. I mean, she's also got stories about remodeling these houses or even just like helping go in to like help people like rearrange a room or doing little things like that. And so that was a really fun one. I have another one coming up on Sunday, which is going to be fun. It's a tiki bar that's going in. It's like a big barge, a big boat, and they have like you have parties, and they have like fully stocked, and the boat goes out into the bay and comes back, and that's going to be a fun one too. So
That
you
is a
you
lot
meet
of
all kinds of
fun.
cool people because they're all looking for advertising. They're so busy working hard on their business that they may not always have time to promote. And so you hop in there and you're like, I'm just going to give you some free promotion. You know, you might need me for here, you might need me for there. Usually a business won't need you for like grand opening week or two because they have so much face time. But you know what? A good time is like 3 weeks later. Follow up like, hey, now that
Mhm.
the calm, like the storm has come by and you're not getting as much attention, let's do a quick video. Like I want to stop in and help you out now that things have like calmed down a little bit and now you want to sustain that momentum, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's really good. You mentioned in there kind of telling this story. Like, how have you either given advice to business owners on like how to craft their story in kind of like their warm marketing, like as they're selling themselves? Like I'm thinking about
Yeah.
like the coffee shops that's going like, maybe it's a couple who's like, hey, we just really are passionate about, coffee from,
Yeah.
that's free trade or whatever. We want to tell this story. How would you advise them?
Yeah, it's funny. So we spent all week this week in the blog, and that was why we talked about storytelling this week. And so what I
Yes.
always tell people is like to keep it really simple, like the how you got started, how you're solving a problem, and how to get a hold of you. Like keeping it so simple,
Mhm.
and keeping it straightforward. It should be like one sentence or two for your whole story, right? And then the key to after that, and I'm sure you help businesses all the time with this too, is staying on
Yes.
brand, making sure that the
Yes.
content matches. And I'm sure you even tell people like color is important. Like images are important. Like you can't have a dark gray picture in your content because then it's like off brand if you're a
Mhm.
shiny, happy company. So the coffee people once in a while will have like gritty a little bit. Some of those coffee shops get a little gritty
Mm.
and get a little,
Hmm.
so their style might be a little bit different, but stay on style. Make sure your branding story is like a sentence, maybe a two that tells everybody kind of like why you're there and what you're doing to help them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so true. We met with Sean and I went down to Baltimore this past week and met with a brand new client. They're a property management group.
Oh, cool.
And it was really awesome. And you just take that there's a property management group in Baltimore. Well, that's really boring. Um, but we started talking with the owner
Yeah.
and one of their employees, and we started hearing about the story about like why they were doing this. And one of their goals is to take old buildings and revitalize them
That's cool.
into their beautiful glory. Like we have a lot of structures in Baltimore that were built back when architecture had, you had the little
Yeah.
flares, you have the cool looking
Brick.
ceilings, and
Yeah.
they're renovating and they're incorporating that. They're not, you know, putting, I don't know, whatever construction people put over the top of beautiful things.
Drywall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drywall.
Yeah.
There you go. They're not doing that. They're actually taking it and making it beautiful again. And
Yeah.
we're walking through this construction zone. And I was telling the lady, I was like, there's so many stories that we could tell with this. I'm like, just look at this corner piece that has this beautiful, like piece to it. We could even take this and incorporate it into a logo for this particular
Oh,
building.
see, I
And
knew you'd be
so,
excited. Yeah.
yeah, and so the people are seeing on the building, they're seeing on the advertising, they're seeing in the social media, they're seeing how this little ornate piece that kind of weaves throughout the building is also into their brand identity. And we kind of tell that story about that. And that's something that's really, really cool.
So I'm curious. So when
And
you see those
so,
things,
yeah, it's
do you
just,
take the pictures
yeah.
and you do all the stuff yourself?
I do. I do. Yeah. And if
Awesome.
we need to, sometimes we'll get like a photographer in there. So there's times where like a photographer, we might have like have one of our team members who's a photographer in on these sites to just really get like just really capture that. A lot of
Yeah.
times this particular brand also doesn't have like brand messaging. And that's all part of telling their story as an
Yep.
organization. So on the surface, it's just like, oh, this is a property management group in Baltimore, which is a little bit of a yawn fest. But when you start
Yeah.
bringing people along and you start telling a story, you're like,
Then you got
"Whoa,
their
this is
attention.
really, really awesome." So I'm very excited. They just started with us this month, and so I'm really excited to dive in.
Nice.
We already had some great conversations, and already out of that, I can already see like 100 different ways we could go with this, and really telling the story about a historical piece of Baltimore. So.
You get so niched down that you're picking like the certain kind of font and certain colors and certain shapes of the pictures. Like, do you get
Mhm.
that granular?
I do. I do. I really, really do because it all
Mm.
tells a story. Like no
Yeah.
matter which font that we use, we have to be really careful in that and the color choices because we don't know we want to be that all communicates the story.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
when I was early in my career as a communication director, it was funny. Like I always talk about like it was for a nonprofit. They had a building and I even argued, I was like, well, at some point, even the paint color could be part of
Everything.
communications. Like it's
Hmm.
literally everything. It's
Hmm.
like how we want people to come into our building and feel when they walk into our
Yeah.
building. What are the things that they want to experience and feel?
That's
So
so
yeah,
awesome.
like color. I that interior design person sounds like a fascinating connection. I
Oh yeah,
almost would
she's awesome.
love to have a
Yep.
conversation with her because
Yep.
there's so many things that you can do. And yeah, it weaves into design, it weaves into your social media, it weaves into your website. For this brand I was just
Everything.
talking about, it weaves into the logo. Yeah, there's so much storytelling in that.
That's probably so awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's way
cool.
more compelling. I think too, as our local small businesses, I know you're more towards the Annapolis side, I'm more
Yep.
on the Baltimore side
Yep.
of things. There's so many of these small businesses that there's a reason why they do what they do. And when they can share
Yeah.
that with their audience, that's way more compelling for someone to,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
be a
where I
part of it.
gravitated first too. That's why I started getting into this mostly because I saw the passion and it was very relatable. Like I saw like how into the brewer got into his beer and how he's like just so proud. Or the coffee shop, the tea shop lady, the you name it. These people just get so excited about what they're doing that it's hard not to step in and say, "Can I be a part of this and help some way, anyway, even if I'm not making, I don't want to make money. I want to just see you do well." Like that's just such an instinct, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Exactly. Exactly. So what are some trends that you've seen lately, like maybe in the warm marketing world, that you've seen that have been really effective? Um, yeah, maybe something that we haven't covered. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two things I'm doing a lot of is I've got the full length like commercials and things. And my team and I have been like narrowing down to like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, making them reels and just taking out like the three or four main key parts. That has gotten way more effective. I can get them out faster. I can make like three or four of these per commercial. So if you have longer content, keep the long content, it's
Hmm.
fine, but just chop it up a little bit and it really gets way, way, way more attention. Um, and I think the other thing is like uh, narrowing down, niching down, being really specific. Like I've taken way more time lately, like getting back in the DMs and sending personal messages and doing personal
Hmm.
videos. Before, like for months and months and months, I was doing like the big spray. Here's the video. Everybody pay attention to it. But I've seen recently like so much saturation. Like there's just so much content that like
Yeah.
there's no way you're a piece of sand on the beach. Like there's just no way like you can't do it. So instead of being that piece of sand, like you need to be the shovel and dig in and be like, hey, listen, here I am. Here's a video I think you'll like. Here's an event we have coming up. And so I started personalizing. It takes more time to do that. But if you want results, like you're gonna have to spend the time. Like just spraying it out there is not gonna work anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Like I wish that I could count how many times I get those in-mail messages on
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yep.
And let's see, or the emails about,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna bump
I
this
saw
to
your
the top of
profile.
your email. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's right. Yeah.
you want to have
Yep.
$120,000 by the end of the week through these
Yes.
methods? It doesn't
Doesn't work.
resonate, it doesn't work. They go straight into the the trash.
Yep.
So yeah, I really like that idea about personalized message. I can't
Almost have to.
like emphasize that enough for
Yep.
any business leader.
Yeah,
Um,
so that's what I've been really doing this week is we have another event coming up. I ended up through my warm marketing stuff. I end up in the we do a food truck festival coming up here soon, and it's a long story how I got into it, but
yeah.
I'm helping run it now. And so I've been doing a lot of DMs where I'll just like do the video like, hey, I want to be sure you're personally invited to our food truck festival. All the money goes back to the students in our area, and here's a link to check it out. And I've been doing those like 5 to 10 a day. And it doesn't take that. It takes you
Yeah,
what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
right.
Once you got the script down and you know what you're going to say, like it moves a little faster, but each one's personalized. Bob, blah, 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 blah. Fred, blah, blah, blah. Like
Yeah.
I don't spray anymore. Like I'm just niching it down, personalizing it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's where people can really honestly stand out. That was
Yes.
something that
Yep.
we advised one of our clients is that in the realm where everyone's doing like to your words like
Yep.
spraying down the marketing,
Yep.
personalized stands out like
A lot.
a lot
Hmm.
because it's like, whoa, he's actually talking to me as a
Yep.
person. He knew my name and
Yep.
he cares about me. What's the old saying that people will only care. I forgot how they you
They don't remember what you told them. They remember how you make them feel. I'm close.
yes, there you
I'm
go.
not exact. I'm close.
Yes, that. But yeah, that's kind of like what this what goes
Yes.
I mean, you're caring about them.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the food truck thing. Let's get you a little plug there.
So we do one of the things man. So what I've done is I made friends with all food truck people because those, first of all, the food's you always delicious. Like, and that's one of the best ways to get like low regionalized ethnic foods is like meeting those folks that have been
Ooh.
from those areas and do a little food truck. But they are not great at promoting themselves. And so they were a very easy, I want to try your food and I want to do something to help you because I'm a foodie. And so we've done a ton of those. We've done 10 or 15 of the food truck ones. So I knew all the food truck people. And then we would take them to schools and feed teachers. Like, hey, listen, we want to do a little something. My wife's a teacher, my brother and his sister, the whole family's teachers but me. And I used to be a teacher. So we go around and do that. We get some sponsors, like a lender, some people like that to do. And then at one point, the STEM program, STEM is like the engineering, the students that do like that extra program. Somebody in that program was like, hey, I see you out doing this stuff all the time. We're trying to come up with a way to raise some money for the STEM students because they have regionals, they got nationals, we have to raise some money,
Mhm.
but like doing little fundraisers is not it. Like doing a little like cookie thing or bake sales, not, we need more. And so I'm like, you know what? I know these food truck people. We haven't had a food truck in our area in like years for some reason. The guy that used to do it screwed it all up. It hasn't been run for a while. And she's like, that's it. That's what we want to do. So last year was our first one. And she got hold of me like at the end of March. She's like, I want to do this at May. I'm like, May's awesome. Let's do that. It gives me a year and a half. And she's like, no, I want to do it this May. I'm like, you want me to put this whole thing together in a month and a half and get it
Yeah.
all but we did. We ended up with 10 food trucks. We had vendors. We had a bunch of things, and it was good for the first time around. The school system is like the people that are in charge are very passionate and they're very organized, and so it went really well. We raised $10,000 just by throwing it together. And so this year I've got a little more time. So this year I'm getting some local bands to put together because they want to give back. A lot of them are former students in the school system, and so they are just going to come and they're going to perform and they hand out cards so people can see them. We have some of the student-led things like a band, like the marching band type stuff, and a local orchestra, and then we still have the food trucks, and we have all these people. So you go from like just helping the food truck people in the very, very, very beginning, and you know them, to now you know some teachers, and then you know the principals and teachers, and then you go to knowing the principals, the teachers, all those parents, all those students, the board of ed people come, the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, and now you know everybody. And all you did was start by doing a couple of videos for food trucks.
Yeah.
You know, you can see how
Yeah.
quickly that escalated to something positive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're getting your name out there.
Yeah.
What is, I mean, obviously, like I know your heart is to help people. Obviously,
Yes,
like we have
absolutely.
to pay the
First.
bills and things like that. But
Yes. Yeah.
from like a business standpoint, how has that helped funnel in for your business?
Yeah, so a lot of ways. First of all, your sphere gets much, much bigger, right? So a lot of people
Mhm.
see you, they know you, they like you, they trust you because you're out doing something for the community, right? We all know the world of real estate and trust sometimes can be very challenging. Very
Yes.
challenging. So
Yes.
trust when you're out there just giving and doing things, that's a bridge you cross pretty quickly. And so they see you out there and they see you doing things. A lot of times we'll do like raffles. We try to get them on our Facebook and so forth because we do weekly giveaways and we do fun things. So the more you see you, the more they trust you, the more they're engaged in your community, the more leads you get, the more
Yeah.
more people you get to know, the more folks that reach out like, hey, my son's looking for has to do this, or my so and so is looking for to do this, or even the business owners themselves. Like I've sold a handful to business owners who are either looking for space for themselves, or they've got employees looking for space, or they've got things they're trying to do, and it just grows naturally. And all
Hmm.
you're doing is good things for the community in a very simple and strategic way, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. And it ties back to building that trust and
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. And it's not a sleazy way, you know.
No, it's
It's
fun.
so authentic and it's
Yeah,
fun. Yeah, especially
good
if you
time.
like people, which I think you do. So,
Yeah, I mean, some of these events we do, we get nothing. And everybody like it's funny. The number of like fake emails you get. You're like, I'm just here giving away whatever. We're giving away cheeseburgers today. And you're like, give me a fake email. You're like, what?
right.
Come on. Like, I'm just out here. But you're like, you know what? Did you enjoy the cheeseburger? Did the food truck guy do well? Sure. That's fine. Everybody's happy. Let's just move on. I'm not going
Yeah.
to get people being honest in all those scenarios, but it's just fun to have them be successful and the people to try out the foods. And, it's just good to be part of the community, even if I get a lot of Yahoo emails.
Can't trust a Yahoo or Hotmail one, right?
No,
Um,
AOL. You get the AOL, and you're like, there's no way. AOL, there's no chance this is real, but it's fine.
right.
It's fine.
Right. But I think that honestly, it speaks to kind of the environment that we're in right now, where people
Yeah,
are very
those optics.
skeptical. I
Yeah,
can't even say that word, but they're very cautious to give
yeah.
away their email address even or their name or their phone number because they know what's going to happen. You know, I mean, if you fill out an inquiry for, I don't know, say health insurance or
You
heaven
black
forbid, a
car.
moving
I put my
company.
car in there last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm like, the phone calls from car.
Oh,
That's it
yeah. Yeah. Yes. I actually did that one as well. That was a mistake.
was bad.
And they don't care about me. They don't care about getting me the best deal.
Yeah.
They want to make a sale.
Yeah.
And
And so,
so,
once you get the good warm content, you email them, but you don't ever email them selling stuff. I never do. Like I'm selling
mm-mm,
like, here's the events going on this weekend, or here's the food truck. Like our email rate, open rates are around like 50 to 60% because I
mm-hmm,
don't sell anything ever. I'm just like, here's what's going on. Like, oh, you
mm-hmm,
need to meet this new food truck, or here's a cool commercial we just did. Like I don't sell things in those because they're going to stop opening it and they're going to stop paying attention.
mm-hmm.
Just here are the things in your community I think you would really love. Here you go. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You send out a weekly email for like focusing on a small business
Yep.
and
Oh
like,
yeah,
which
that's a
is
different
really,
one.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I would
started getting those and I'm like, oh, this is good because you're in a different area, you have a different sphere, and it's really
Yep.
nice to be able to see kind of like who your network is. Because maybe there are people that I want to meet too.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Those are
yeah,
so
and
short. They're like a sentence long. They're like, I know you're super busy. Here's a person. Here's what they do. Here's to get a hold of them if you think they will work for you. Yeah, but
yep.
I keep that one super short. That's fun.
Yeah, it is. It was super short. It took me by surprise the first time I saw it because I was expecting like, you know, the typical like long email, and it's not. It's
No.
just like here's you know, like here's a small business that I'm sharing to
Yep.
my email list. We do something similar. We don't do it every month. We try to send out a monthly newsletter,
Oh yeah, I've gotten those.
focusing
They're really
on,
good.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're always reading
Thank
new
you.
books. You're always doing new things, and it
Yes.
kind of is like a Tim Ferriss style. Like, here's the things I'm doing right now today. Those are pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for reading it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, we try to give away some tips and tricks, things that are new, that's current, that's happening in the digital world of, you know, landscape.
yeah.
But we also try to tie in personal. Like last month, we featured that my son got his driver's permit. And
That's
so, you know, yeah, and like, you know, it has nothing to do with marketing, but it's just like sharing with people like, hey, you know what? We're real people behind this. It's
yeah,
not just
yeah,
like, you know, we don't care. Like we care greatly because, you know, we want to treat your business like we would our
yep,
business, you know.
yep,
And so honestly, like that's because we operate so much in that track, we've noticed that our client base has become more like that as well. I
yeah,
will say there are some clients that have turned into friends because we're getting invited to birthday parties and things like that.
That's so
Um,
awesome.
yeah, so it's like, it's really it's a cool place to be because
Yeah.
then it becomes almost like a partnership. Like I want
Yep.
you to be successful because I've been to your kid's birthday parties and he is
Yes.
stinking
Yep.
cute and I want him to be raised by, in a
Awesome
house
parent.
with the family and
Yeah.
everything. So
It's like that phrase, like the vibes you put out are the ones that come back.
yes,
That's kind of
yes.
what it is, right?
Very, very true. Very, very true. Well, let's shift to challenges because there are
Oh,
some
yeah.
massive challenges in marketing for
Yeah.
sure. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah.
So what would you like? What are some challenges that you've seen? Like obviously you're giving away so much for free. Like
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
not being like logged into your website, like I can see so many tips that you just give away for free. But what are some of the challenges that you've encountered as you're growing your business?
Attention. Getting enough attention, right? So as you try to
Yeah.
give stuff away for free, like I really think the strategy I use are good for communities. Like it's just makes a positive
Mhm.
impact. So I'm trying to get it out there enough that everybody is like, that's really cool. I want to try it. So that way we can make positive impacts and help local businesses everywhere. Like why limit it to Maryland where you and I are? Let's get it everywhere. It can work in Idaho. It can work in San Francisco. It can work everywhere. So really getting attention has been the toughest. So that's your wheelhouse, though. I know I see your stats. Like I help this business go from here to here, right? So
Yeah.
what should I be doing? I need to change some stuff, right?
I know, I know. We're true believers in organic social,
Love
which is getting a bad rap. I can't tell you like how many advertisements I see that is like organic social is dead. No, it's
it.
not. Or
No.
like the algorithm hates you. No, it doesn't. It's literally has no emotion. It's a computer. Um, so, but yeah, like honestly, what we've been talking about authentic relationships is really what I believe organic social is. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
And that's what we teach our clients. That is how we do our organic social is all through that personalized relationship. So if I'm on a client's account and I don't know, say it's a soap making company or something like that, and somebody is, I don't know, having a wedding or something like that on their feed. That's somebody that they follow. Like, send a personalized message. Think that,
There you go.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
celebrate
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that person,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like be there for all the things. And you can show up on Instagram, you can show up on Facebook, you can show up, and that is how organic growth is built, is based on those authentic things. Like, yes, if you don't give, you're not going to receive back kind of thing. So nobody's going to be interested in what you have to say until you can show you're
Super.
interested in
Yeah.
what they have to say.
Yeah. It's true.
So you can do some of that proactive approach by reaching out to them, and
I love
really
that.
just genuinely, yeah. What I tell my clients too is, we do part of our social media packages are our organic growth. Like that's what we do for them. So we're reaching out on behalf of the clients to the people in their followers list. We're reaching out to them going like, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
Like
Simple.
genuinely. Yeah,
Yeah.
having
Simple stuff.
authentic conversation. Hey,
Mhm.
we noticed that, blank blank blank, or hey, Teresa, how was your vacation to, Illinois? Like there's just lots of ways that you can personalize things, and it's just showing that you're a real person. And again, like what we've been talking about, like it's just that authentic personal relationships stand out from the crowd. It takes time, and you don't always get, a home run
Yeah.
on your 15, 20 minutes. But if you just take some time, like you were saying, what, like, 5 to 10 people that you reach out to,
Yep. That's it.
yeah, it's the same thing on the organic social. So, like going and reaching out to people personally, it does take time. You're not going to get to your entire list of followers, but the people that you're going to connect with are going to appreciate that you're a real person and you can have a real conversation. Um,
So
yeah. Then
essentially, you're telling me to be patient and keep grinding.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's what that's your
It's,
humble advice.
yes, I know. I wish it was quick and easy, like I really
No,
do.
because if it's quick and easy, then everybody could do it.
Everybody would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the article that I just published yesterday, that we got published in Women's Insider, like those results were over a year. like those results were 2024 versus 2023, and like the
Yeah.
entire work that we did with a client for a whole year. And so it is slow, but it is so worth it. Like I think we had like 113% return on
That's
like
awesome.
as far as like engagement goes. And like I'm like, because that authentic really, really wins out. Like just be a human in the world of fake, be a human.
There you go. My advice. All right.
Yes.
That's gonna be our tag for this episode.
Yes. The world of fake.
Be authentic, be a
Um,
human.
yes, yes. Well, that's awesome. All right. So let's wrap this up and
Got it.
tell me how do people get a hold of you? Like how if I'm interested in your class, what do I do?
Yeah, probably the easiest way. All my stuff's on my website. It's www.livelocalwarmmarketing.com. See, it took me a second. Livelocalwarmmarketing.com. On there, it'll be all my socials. We can hit it up. You can have the blog will be on there for free. Like all the stuff will be on the site. You can check it out, play around with it. Even my contacts at the bottom if you wanted to like text me or email. Everything's on there. So I want to see people do well. So if you have questions, like let me know. We even set up a one-on-one or have a chat or how it works or what I can do to help because I think the warm marketing strategies we teach are just good for communities. So I want to get it out there. Slow,
Yeah.
I would patiently grinding it, getting out there. That's it, right?
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much
Thanks for having
for
me.
I appreciate
Wonderful.
your time. Like I just
Yeah.
sharing all your marketing strategies. And if you don't follow him on LinkedIn or really any of the socials, you definitely should. He gives away so many free advice. It's like a
Yep.
quick couple sentence pick me up for the morning. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good reminder. Oh yeah. And I've even started like doing some of your advice that you've been putting out there. I'm like, ah, yes, yes. And it's been good. It's been a good reminder knowing that we're not alone and the authentic communication and marketing. So,
Yep.
anyways, be sure you check out Billy and all the great things that he has to offer. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It was awesome.